Hello, thank you for joining me today. I'm Jan Clothier of Thinking Stamping, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from New Zealand. And today I'm going to share with you how I made this little fancy fold card that I made for Around the World on Wednesday blog hop, where our theme this month was to do something around our favourite place. Now for me, that's the beach. I love the beach, it's my happy place. And so I've got this little beach themed card for you, and it's a fancy fold. So it folds up in the envelope like that, and then it opens out. You've got a little place to write, and it just sits beautifully like that. So it displays really nicely. Now, I don't know what this fold is called because I'd never seen it until I received a birthday card from a fellow demonstrator, an Australian demonstrator, Quinn, who's on the design team with me at Colour Inspiration. And she sent me a card with this fold, and I'd never seen it before. So in my head, I call it Julia's fold. I'm sure it's got another name somewhere, and if anyone knows what it is, I'd be more than happy to hear about it. But what I like about a fancy fold is when it displays nicely and when the person who gets it can pull it out of the envelope and immediately see what to do with it. No faffing around working out what has to tuck where. So I'm going to share with you today how I made that card, and we'll start off by the materials you need and the score lines you need to make, because really it's a very easy card. So I'll just pop that over there. And obviously I've used the Season of Chic stamps because although it's got images from each season, my favourites are the seashell stamps. And we're also using the dies that bundle with it, the chic dies. And so those two things are still a bundle. So 10% cheaper if you buy them together. Okay, now moving on to what you actually need to make it. So obviously the mechanism bit is the fold, and so we'll start with that. Got a little pile of things here that we need, but we'll start with the inside. So this is started life as a sheet of A4 paper, and you can see it here better on this one. So what you have to do is you have to trim it a bit shorter, so it's 29 centimetres that way. And I've cut it to 14 centimetres that way, and then scored it at 10 centimetres, 16.5 centimetres, 23 and 26. Okay, so 10, 16.5, 23 and 26, 29 centimetres that way, 14 centimetres that way. And that gives you your nice fold. Okay, so that's that. Now you need a base, and so I've done mine in soft suede, and eventually that's going to attach on there like that. So your base, whatever your base colour is going to be, it is 14.5 centimetres by 10.5, so that's a quarter of an A4 sheet of paper. Now obviously you can do various things with how you decorate it, but I've used some of this beautiful Texture Chic DSP, specialty DSP, and it's double-sided. Because I've used the seashells, I've used the seashell paper, but obviously you can use whatever you want, and I've got some other examples that I'll show you at the end of the video. So the DSP, if you're going to use DSP, all of it is 13.5 that way because it's half a centi narrower than your white base, or whatever your folding base is. So you need a piece for there, and so that's 13.5 by 9.5. You've got a piece for in here, and that is again 13.5 tall and 6 centimetres, and then the piece for the front is again 13.5 and it's 2.5 centimetres. So your three pieces of DSP again, they're all 13.5 centimetres tall, and they are 2.5, 6 and 9.5. Then you need to make something to make your, your front, and so I've used a piece of soft suede because it's the same colour as my backing paper, and a little scrap of white, and I have used, to cut those, I've used the rectangular stitched framelits or the rectangular stitched dies, depending on when you bought them, and I've used the second and third of those ones to do it. And then in addition to that, you need a few little scraps of other things for doing the cutout add-ons. So whatever you like. I've used some of the Distress Gold Specialty DSP to cut a couple of shells, and I've used a little piece of Petal Pink to cut another seashell, and they'll be appearing on my finished card. So when it comes to doing the DSP, obviously the DSP is double-sided, and what I've done on this one is I've used the pink and gold and the seashells in the middle, so I thought just for a bit of variety. And this one, we would do them the other way around and see what it looks like. Okay, so we can attach those just with a bit of glue. Helps if I remember which side I'm doing, so I know which side to pop the glue on. So, whoops, on the front. And there was a really good example of what not to do. I've got a bit of glue in the wrong place. Okay, so that, and the middle one I'm going to show, the middle one is going to be the spotty gold. And this one is going to be the seashells this time round. Now, what I should have done first is, obviously, if I'm going to decorate this panel here, which I have, I probably should have done it first in case I mucked it up, so I'm just going to have to back myself in this case, aren't I? So I'm going to start with some soft suede. I'm going to tap on the outline. Okay, and then I'm going to press firmly and evenly and count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Couple for luck. 11, 12. Very nice. Perfect. And the nice thing about the Season of Chic stamp is that for each of the outlines there is a filler stamp, so which you can use either by itself or together. So I'm going to get the Petal Pink and I'm going to get the little fill stamp, tap on the ink, I'm going to line it up, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to press firmly and count to 10 so the ink's got time to transfer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 for luck. 11, 12. Yes, that's what I wanted. Okay, and then I am just going to glue on this little whelk shell, just a tiny little dibble of glue, and if you didn't trust yourself to do it quite like that, then you can always do my little trick with the silicone mat and the little sponge. Okay, so now that's our little place that we can write on for our card. And then we can attach this to the base. Just a bit of glue. And let's see. Can pop that on there. And because we've used glue, a little bit of wiggle room to straighten it up. And I'm just going to give all the folds a nice sharp crease. Okay, so in fact you can see this card does come together pretty quickly. We do need a sentiment, and I'm going to go for the birthday because I really like the wishing you the best birthday ever sentiment. So I've already got it blocked up. We'll get the soft suede ink back again, ink it up. Normally I stamp first and die cut second because I always think it's easier to put a die cut straight around a stamp than to stamp perfectly straight into an existing die cut. But for the purpose of video making, I've done it this way around. Okay, wishing you the best ever birthday. And then what I'm going to do, just to add a bit more of the pink coloration into it, I'm going to get my scallop shell outline stamp. I'm just going to give it a wipe because I last stamped it in soft suede. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the petal pink and tap, 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 tap. And I'm just going to stamp that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on there, just to add in a touch more colour and a touch more of the beach theme. And now we can join those together. And pop it onto the backing. Now obviously if you make this card in a different design, you can use whatever shaped label you like, but I just stuck with the square, for, the rectangular for this. Now a little trick for beginners though, when you go to attach this, do remember that that part of it's, you know, open, so you only need glue down that side, because if you put glue all over it, you're just going to glue the whole card together. So just remember, only glue down one side. Okay, so we can just pop that as far across as we want it. I'm just going to press it for a moment or two just so the glue's got a bit of time to take hold. Okay, and now some further little touches of embellishment. Well, I think I'm going to take this large distressed gold specialty paper clamshell, scallop shell, clamshell, I don't know, not good with seashell names. And we shall attach that one there so it can be seen when it's closed. And perhaps we'll just put this little one up the top. Just pop them up there. Again, just give it a little hold. And there you go. It's as simple as that to make this little Julia's Fold card. Oops. Managed to make it stick together. So again, just careful with your gluing. Okay, and you can see there are some differences with the original. Which way around do you like it? With more dots showing or with more seashells showing? I don't know. I like them both. Now, I also have a couple of others to show you that I've made that are slight variations. So this one is using the same paper, the Texture Chic paper, and the Season of Chic stamp set, but in this case I've used the flowers. So again, I picked paper that was the floral paper. We've got a bit of decoration on the inside, folds up nicely. And this one, which is slightly different. It's also the Season of Chic, and I use the one, the leaves, and again, so I've used the leaf paper, just done a little design in there. And with this one, because I chose the Thinking of You sentiment, and it was a more of a landscape type one, I just used some different stitched rectangles and oriented it a different way. But, you know, this is a great fold because you can adapt it to pretty much any stamp set. You can embellish it any way that you like. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed looking at that card, and I hope you give it a go. If you do, I'd love to see how it turns out for you. As always, I'm more than happy to be contacted. You can reach me through my blog or my Facebook page, the details of which are going to appear on the end card of the video and are in the video description below. And of course, if you live in New Zealand, you're more than welcome to shop with me. And there is a link to my online store in the description below this video and on my blog and on my Facebook page. Thank you very much for joining me.